welcome to Damage Control, podcast where we don't actually control anything, we just talk about the damage. This is a podcast that's being hosted by PRSSA, CFA, and Wave Radio. And we're just going to talk about pop culture crises, things going on in the media, and just kind of our opinions, what we think that they can do better, what things that we think that they can do worse. So we got some cool stuff that we're going to talk about. First thing that we're going to talk about today is Cynthia Erivo has been casted as Jesus Christ in Jesus Christ Superstar. So, I don't know, I guess for context, like, who is Cynthia Erivo?
Yeah, so, I mean, most of us know her as Elphaba in the new Wicked movie. So, which, like, personally, I think she killed, so, like, it was amazing. But she's also been in, like, the 2016 version of The Color Purple. And then, which she got a Tony Award for the Best Actress in a Musical. And then she was also in Harriet, and her original song, Stand Up, was nominated for Best Original Song, and she was also nominated for Best Actress, but I don't think she won either of them.
I think she has an EGOT.
Does she?
Yeah, it's like Emmy, Grammy, Tony, Oscar.
I
guess she is hosting the Tonys.
Oh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I guess she's pretty well known, so like it makes sense to me why they would put her in that role. Mm-hmm. But I don't even know, like, Shannon, I think you had like what is Jesus Christ Superstar? Because I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Yes, I've actually never heard of it until, yesterday when we picked these movies.
Yeah.
But it's actually a rock opera, considering in, like...
A rock opera?
It's a musical.
I know, what does that even mean?
But it follows Judas, and if you're of, like, a Christian faith, Judas was the one who gave, like, Jesus up to the Roman Empire and had him crucified. Yeah. So, like, it follows his story and, like, through his viewpoint, and kind of gives him, like, a humility type of thing, and he is basically juggling with either following Jesus, because he was one of the disciples, or, turning him into the Roman Empire, because in the musical, Jesus was kind of in, like, stardom and in fame, and so kind of got in his head, I guess, which is another reason why it's controversial, is because Jesus was portrayed as kind of a human element that, if you're of the faith, it's like, no, it's not, he's not a human. But portrayed and, gathering all these masses of followers. And because he got so famous, Judas was kind of juggling with, do we? But obviously ended up turning him in, which is insane. And there's a whole thing with Mary Magdalene, which is another person in the Bible who sings a song and is, like, professing his love to Jesus. And so there's so many, like, different things that they, like, turn the viewpoint on for the Bible, which makes it controversial, because Judas was, evil, Mary Magdalene, like, so it kind of turns the tables. Which is why I thought it was so interesting that she's playing it, because Wicked has kind of the same concept of humanizing someone who was thought to be so evil and, like, portrayed in that way.
Yeah.
That I thought that was so cool. I was like, they're trying to give their side of the story. So I thought that was crazy,
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Is it always, like, on stage, or... Like, is it...
I think there's a movie.
Have there been film adaptations?
There was an adaptation, but it's usually on stage.
Okay. Yeah.
As, like, a performance element. But, I thought that was super interesting.
That is really interesting.
Right?
That's not, like... I didn't know anything about it, so, like...
No,
Yeah, I can see why people would think... But I know, like, some people... Like, I used to have these, like, family friends, and, like, they loved it, and they're, like, super religious.
Okay. Yeah. I think it goes either way.
Yeah, probably.
Probably the different adaptations, too, like, depending on who's playing Jesus, who's playing just, like, anybody, and, like, the different... I mean, because it started in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it's probably gotten maybe farther from, like, the Bible story that people knew. Like, it could be getting even more controversial or whatever, so...
Yeah.
and like the
who?
should I just go on into
Yeah.
who played Jesus in the past?
Yeah, go do that.
So Jeff Fenholt was the original like production of it, and he's an American. And then Ted Neely, he's also American, and I included John Legend. He performed in the live concert in 2018.
That might be what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. I don't.
Is
So
the
I'm,
John
that's-
Legend one? I
yeah.
thought that
And
was a
it's like-
movie, but I guess it wasn't.
more of a
It
like
was a-
concert
it's
kind
a
of
concert.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then, in 2012, Ben Forrester, I included him because he's British.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I mean, Cynthia Erivo's
That's
British, so.
That's funny.
So wait, is it
Are-
like an American musical?
I think
was
so.
it- I think it is.
And
I think so.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
like
Do we know, like, because I think part of the reason why Cynthia Erivo playing him is so controversial is that she's a woman, and like, so
Well,
those are all men.
for
And
John
then-
Legend, there was a controversy around him, but it wasn't about like his like. It was about like the way he was singing. People thought his voice wasn't strong enough.
Oh.
Which
well,
is
hers
weird.
is low key.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I
like-
thought his was too.
Right, I thought because like
Yeah.
so they were saying
interesting.
like he couldn't
Like,
hit those high notes, I guess, and stuff like that,
Oh.
and that's the first like controversy that came up, and I was like, okay,
Damn.
it's weird.
Dang.
Yeah,
It's me.
it's
Yes.
Yeah. She can hit those. Yeah, for
okay.
sure.
Get into the controversy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been waiting.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, the biggest thing is she's a woman. I mean, and
Yeah.
typically Jesus is portrayed as a man,
Yeah.
a white
Yeah.
man, even though
We
it
all
was in
know
the Middle
that's
East.
not true.
But we all know that's not true. But so like people were like coming out, so they like posted it on Instagram because this is at the Hollywood Bowl, and it's only like a 3-night performance. It's not like a long running thing. So like Hollywood Bowl posted it, they announced it, and then like the comments were just like horrible. So like I have some of the comments, but basically people were pissed that they were saying that it was blasphemy that she was like coming and she was gonna play this character because she is a black female and she's queer.
Yeah.
And so they're like, not my Jesus, you know, like, okay. I don't know, like, so what? I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but so they're super upset about that, and now there's like this controversy up again of like, how is Jesus like portrayed? And like, okay, well, he was actually what, Middle Eastern? Like,
Right.
it's not like he's this white man that people have deemed him to be. But I found some like interesting things that people said. Some people were like really bad. And so this was on X. It was February 18th, 25. So it was like what, last week? Yeah. Anyway, this reverend, he's like a really well-known reverend, came out on X and said, with all due respect and humbly submitted, Cynthia Erivo is too, in all caps, bald, brown, and bi to play Jesus.
Oh my.
A reverend.
Yes, a reverend. Yes, a reverend. And so they said that casting a woman as Jesus Christ is an intentional form of blasphemy that Hollywood would be fuming over if done to certain other religions. And then this, like, I don't know, this white lady was like, I agree completely. She will be in Jesus Christ Superstar, a blasphemous work in itself. I studied a musical at college. Having her in it is just a feeble attempt to make it appealing. There's little way it can be made worse. Please, God, may people just ignore the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah, so, like, that was crazy. But then there's other people who are, like, the only people mad about this are the ones that clearly have no idea what Jesus Christ Superstar even is. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
I guess.
Right.
like, I don't know if it's, like, meant to be, like, a satirical thing. It doesn't sound like it is.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. So, like, that was crazy. That I was like, oh, my God, why? First of all, why are you calling out that she's bald? That was,
Yeah,
like,
why do
that's
I
a choice
call
that
for
she
it?
made.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's like, whatever. Like, who cares?
Right.
She's
Yeah.
an actor. She can put on a freaking wig.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
literally what she did for Wicked.
Yeah. But would it be okay for a bald man to play? Like,
Well,
like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
why are we pointing out this?
No,
this
exactly.
or- yeah.
Why are we pointing it out? Like, I
Yeah.
don't get it. But The interesting thing is that, like, so this is, like, blown up on social media, but Hollywood Bowl hasn't said anything. Like, they haven't responded at all, and neither has Cynthia Erivo. She, like, hasn't addressed anything that I've seen. Then again, it's still new, but, like, especially, like, right now in the PR world, like, we expect you to, like, be quick and be on that. But no, she has not said anything. That's
kind of surprising.
And she's kind of known for, like, clapping back at people. And so I'm kind of surprised that she hasn't said something, because, like, I remember when the whole, like, Wicked drama came out.
Right,
with the poster.
And, she clapped back immediately on, X?
I think it was X or Instagram, one of the two.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Do we think that they should, like, say something? I think that someone should address it.
I think, well, they clearly know why they picked her to play this role, so why not back up your decision?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I know Hollywood Bowl said, like, because she was, like, nominated and well-known and, like... Because, I mean, her singing ability is, like, unmatched.
Amazing.
Like, she's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they probably want someone with a really strong voice.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if they just picked her because she's popular right now, like, they would have known this was gonna be a controversial choice.
Probably.
And, like, they should have been ready for that.
Yeah.
And maybe they were, and this was how they decided to, like, go about it.
Go and handle it. Yeah, maybe.
They were like, this is gonna get it so much more publicity.
True.
I don't know, maybe.
I never would have heard about it if...
Yeah.
No, I know.
Right?
I've
No,
never
that's for
seen
sure.
any of the other adaptations, so I'm gonna watch this one.
Right?
I know,
Yeah.
I kind of do, too. I mean, we're not gonna unless we, like,
That's
go to,
so true.
go to
Maybe someone
California.
will do a TikTok live.
Yeah, right?
Yes. So next, we're going to give you the drama drop.
Love it.
Thank you.
So good.
So our first drama drop is Rachel Ziegler will be in the new Snow White, and this was huge and controversial like last year. Disney buried it, as we know. So just a little like refresher, because the movie is officially coming out March 21st. So it's
Dude, I
like
can't wait.
super.
I'm so
I'm so
excited.
there. I'm so
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So basically, like, I mean, the original like controversy I think was Rachel Ziegler coming out and saying things about like how she wasn't going to be saved by a man and all these things, and then of course she's not white, which people didn't like because
Snow White.
Because who cares?
yeah.
Oh my god.
But,
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and then the Seven Dwarfs originally were not people with dwarfism.
But,
I don't
Peter-
think people have been mad about
Peter
it before.
I don't know.
Peter
No, but
Dinklage?
they
Yeah.
weren't all.
But I thought he came out and said they shouldn't do it with like people with dwarfism.
I don't remember.
I fear I have to fact check.
But fact check, and then
He said it would change the dwarf characters to magical creatures.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
that is what it
Yeah.
was. And people
And
were
that's what
like,
he
no,
wanted.
it's literally Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, not
Yeah.
Snow White and the Seven Magical Characters.
Yeah.
Like,
But he basically
But-
said it's like sending people, it's like, it's just backwards.
yeah.
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 And he was super not happy with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that'd be pretty.
Wasn't he an elf?
That's-
Yes.
that-
Yeah.
I
But
guess
the
he
whole
wasn't
thing,
an elf.
the whole thing he said is like, "Don't call me an elf." That
Yeah.
was like
Right.
the joke.
That
Yeah.
was like,
Right.
That was
That's
like a
very
funny
dated,
joke
too.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
a
dated
very
for
dated
sure.
movie.
Yeah.
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 Well, in any regard, they took out all of the actors who were playing the Seven Dwarves and their CGI.
Yeah.
So
That'll be interesting.
That's
That's-
gonna look weird.
it's
Oh, I think it will.
already looks really weird. I watched the
Really?
trailer.
The trailer, yeah.
It's to me not the move, but
Too late now.
I
The
don't-
movie's done.
It
I
comes
guess
out
what
in
else
a
would they have
month,
done,
so-
though? Like,
I don't know, and
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
if they kept the original
look
like cast
Like
as
voice,
the voice
yeah.
actors or
I'm
not.
not sure.
but
oh my
looks really bad.
god, that
What?
looks so
It looks
bad.
scary.
No, it's creepy.
Looks really bad.
Also, I just have to comment on her hair.
why?
I'm sorry.
Why?
I don't think it was the move either.
Wait.
Like, I get in the original cartoon, she has this, like,
Yeah.
hair thing.
Yeah.
At least give her a straight bob.
Yeah.
Like, that's horrible.
Yeah.
It's
For-
giving Lord Farquaad.
Yeah, it so is. No, it so is.
Yeah. They could have modernized it a little bit more.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
like, I get it. I
Yeah.
get that's,
If
like,
they
what the
were, like-
original character looks like.
Yeah, if they were modernizing the storyline a little bit more, like
Modernize the girl's hair.
Yeah, and she doesn't maybe need to be in a dress that still looks like that. Like, It's a bunch of stuff.
Right, but yeah,
but
I don't know.
The poor girl, yeah.
I was like, girl,
The dress
she could
isn't,
look
like,
so
popping
much
out to me,
better.
though, either. So
This is like kind of a common thing I've been seeing with these Disney remakes. There will be so much controversy over it, and when the movie comes out, it's literally the worst thing, and it wasn't even worth all of that fighting.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's really not.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
March 21st,
That's
I'll be
the
there.
worst.
Yeah.
No, but that's so soon. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they buried it. I haven't heard a single thing about this movie in like
And then
over
they're
a
back.
year.
Yeah, I thought they
Yeah.
canceled it. Really.
I thought they did too.
I thought it was.
Well, I think the like writers' strike too, like
Oh.
Right.
had
That's
an effect
true,
on
that's
that.
true.
But
I think it got postponed for sure.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
But
It's giving like the publicity they did around Wish before it came out because it got so much hate and it was the worst movie. I didn't even watch it.
I
because
didn't
heard
watch
such
it.
bad things about it, but it was like
They were
Absolutely
accused of
horrible.
using AI.
I don't even know what
Wait,
you're
really?
talking
Oh my
about.
God.
In the
Wish.
movie.
It was for like the 100th anniversary.
Oh,
or something.
with like the terrible song.
What?
I don't even.
With the- wait, with the
it's
star,
like
the
the
little
it's
star?
the little yellow star. Yeah.
Well, like no,
yeah.
the dad with like the really bad song, and
Wait.
people were like, "Oh, I wish like Disney characters were evil again." Blah blah blah, like that.
no, I literally,
Is it-
it's not relevant,
It's
like
not.
at all.
It's not, and they buried that before it came out because they knew it wasn't going to be. People, it already got hate,
Interesting.
so they did the same thing with this.
Do we wanna
Oh, is
talk
this
about
Poppi?
Poppi?
Yes.
Oh.
Let's talk about Poppi.
Yes.
So, Poppi, like, is a... I don't know how to, like, get this started.
Healthy
Like,
drink,
healthy-
soda.
It's like a soda,
healthy
soda
soda.
alternative.
Because I've
Which
never
is another
had it.
controversy because it's not actually healthy.
It's not actually healthy,
but-
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, they sent, like, vending machines to these influencers' houses. And we're getting a lot of hate because, like, it costs, like, a lot of money to
Are they
do
like
that.
full vending machines? Like
Yes.
huge
Yeah.
ones?
Like, real vending
Oh my
machines.
God.
Like, yeah.
Like, real...
Oh my
like,
god,
huge.
when we were talking, I thought they were like little ones.
No.
Oh my god, wait, that's
No,
crazy.
like, huge.
Yeah.
And everyone's like jumping on like the hate train for them because like they're competitors, which
Yeah.
I thought they were the same, but like Olipop like posted a TikTok and they were sending like customers like their pop in like these shopping carts, and like everyone in the comments is just roasting Poppi the whole
Oh,
time.
so everyone's like
yeah.
going against
Yeah.
Poppy and then
And
like
then
jumping on
Olipop.
Olipop.
in
Okay.
in Olipop's comments, it's like even like other verified accounts are doing that. Like other companies
Oh,
are like,
wow.
yeah, like you
Really?
know, like that.
Attacking Poppy.
Yeah,
Wow. That's
Be-
good PR for
right?
everybody else.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought Olipop and Poppy were the same thing.
too.
So it's really, really good
Like,
for
I've
Olipop.
never-
Yeah.
is it-
But like they cost $25,000.
That's crazy.
Each.
The machines.
How many
I
did they
thought they
send
were
out?
giving them
I
for
think
free,
like
though.
29 or something.
Yeah.
27. And then everyone who's like an actual Poppy, like who buys their product,
Yeah.
is like, "Where's my vending machine?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
spent
Well-
like so much money for
Well,
you."
and I'm pretty sure, like, if I'm wrong, tell me, but like, I'm pretty sure they were sending them to these influencers for free, right?
I think yeah, definitely.
These influencers who
pretty
can
sure.
afford
Why
Poppy.
do influencers
So-
want vending machines?
Yes, yeah.
don't
But I think a
understand.
lot of the controversy too was that like they should have been sending them to schools and to dorms and to
Yeah.
that would have
to
been
people
awesome.
that can't afford
yeah.
it or
Colleges.
like
Or just the product in general.
Yeah,
instead
why
of
do
a
you
vending
need a
machine.
vending machine?
Right.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But then I think they've also been taking them away, right?
They took
Okay,
them away?
okay. That's
Could you imagine? Here's your vending machine, but you know,
Actually,
like,
no, because of
actually-
everything going on, we're gonna
That's
need
a
that
yeah,
back.
we're gonna need that back. Like,
Ooh, I
that's
wonder
crazy.
what is going on with that.
Yeah.
How
Maybe
are they
we'll have to
gonna-
do like a revisit.
Part 2.
Yeah,
Part
yeah.
2, yeah. So the next one that we're gonna talk about is another like, this is more of like a PR like cool thing that's happening, or happened, I guess, not anymore. So the Four Nations hockey game just happened last week, and I just recently got into hockey, so like I don't want to like say I'm a hockey expert because I'm not. Like I just started liking it, but what's really cool was, so typically like around this time hockey would do like an all-star game, and so instead of the all-star game they decided we're gonna do a Four Nations face-off, kind of like round robin sort of tournament. So it was the US, Canada, Finland, and Sweden. And this was really like, it was really important, and I didn't realize how important this was because the like NHL like hockey, they haven't been able to play on like an international level, I want to say in like 14 years.
Wow.
They have not been to the Olympics. So the first time that they'll be back to the Olympics is this next one coming up. What's it, like 26 or 28 or something? I don't remember which, like, when it is. But, so, like, that rule's, like, done. And so they wanted to, like, give, like, a taste to this sort of thing. And so it was, like, the best of each nation against each other, which is something, like, the hockey world hasn't seen in a long time. And people are kind of sick of All-Star games. Like, that same weekend, it was, like, the NBA All-Star game.
Oh,
and this Four Nations, like, blew them out of the water, which is really cool. Because people don't really watch hockey.
Yeah.
But people loved how, like, intense it was. So during the Canada and U.S. game, the Canadians started booing the U.S. national anthem, which is, like, messed up. Yeah, so they started doing that, and, like, people were getting, like, really riled up. And, like, this, like, nationalism, national pride was just, like, ramping everyone up. Especially Canada versus U.S.
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge rivalry.
Yeah.
And Canada, I mean, they kind of own hockey. Like, that's, like, their sport. They own that. And so I think that was the big deal. And so people were, like, and, like, with everything happening, like, with Trump right now, with, like, Canada being the 51st state, and, like, it was just a whole thing, like, and the booing. So I think everyone was just, like, heated. And so the game starts, and there's 3 fights in the first, like, 10 seconds. Which, there's a lot of fights in hockey. That's just kind of how it goes.
Usually later on in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, best part of hockey is the fights. It's so funny to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 3 of them in the first, like,
Did it
10
continue
seconds.
throughout, or was it just, like,
no.
right off the bat?
Right off the bat, it was like, oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that never happens, because they just kept going. I think it started to, like, die down throughout, and there really weren't as many in the championship game, because what ended up happening was the championship was also between Canada and the U.S., just because of how many games they won and stuff. And so, like, when the championship game came, everyone was just kind of like, what's gonna happen? Like, is the U.S. gonna boo them? And, like, what's good? Because Canada hosted it, and then the U.S. hosted. I think it was in Boston or something. But I mean, yeah, fans, like, booed it, but yeah, it wasn't nowhere near as, like, crazy. But it's cool because, like, there's a lot of people I know from this, like, tournament that they did that are now into hockey. Like, that I'm more into hockey because of it too, you know? And, like, these people are getting this, like, national recognition, and, like, the Tkachuk brothers, I think that's how you pronounce it, they were just on, like, Jimmy Fallon or something. Yeah, I don't know. So, like, now, like, they're, like, getting really big, and, like, a lot of these sports commentators are saying that, like, it's going to get more popular than the NBA, and I'm like, that's a crazy thing to say. The NBA is huge in the U.S., so I don't know. I think that's super cool, and I think that, like, the PR they did for it and the branding and just, like, playing off of this, like, national pride aspect, and, like, that's what people want to see right now.
Yeah.
They want to see people get really into it and, like, feel really good about what they're doing. So, I don't know. I'm, like a PR stance. I think it was just awesome.
It's a great game.
No, and it was a fun game to watch, too. Like, I watched it. So...
Wait, I'm so sorry because I don't know, but who won?
Who won? Canada. Canada, yeah. Canada won. It was a really close game, though. It was really close. They went into overtime.
Oh, amazing. That makes, like, a game so much more fun. Yeah. Like, if it's that close the whole time, it's like you're on the edge of your seat, you're waiting, you're excited.
That's exactly how it was. Like, it was such a good game. I mean, of course, I was pissed when the U.S. lost, but, like, it was kind of hard to be like, oh, screw you, Canada, because I was like, that was really good. Yeah. Like, way to go. I guess it is, like, your sport, you know? But, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
God.
Consider the drama dropped.
Thank you, Shannon. That was awesome.
Yes, I was waiting for that.
You were waiting for it. Yeah.
Love it.
So, yeah, I think that's all we got for this first episode. Whoever whoever does decide to watch this,
Thanks.
drop a like, drop a comment.
No.
Let us know what you think.
Subscribe.
If there's anything that you think that we should talk about, let us know too.
Yeah.
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 Because there's a lot of stuff going on. There's some cool stuff. So.
Yeah. we'll take suggestions.
For sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.